This is Just in Case from American Newscape, joining our friend and moral compass, Kim Kerley, bringing you some good old Americana humor. Moral compass, live up to that, Kim Kerley. Hello, Kim. Welcome back to American Newscape.
Let's see. What's the wind? I don't know. What's I go right now? Morally, moral
Morally,
compass.
moral compass. You are our
Hmm.
moral compass.
Yeah. How are you doing, just in case? Thanks for having me back, and I really appreciate being back. And that connection is okay. It seems just so suddenly
Well,
my
we
stuff is like I live in a cave. I don't know.
well, our connection's not the best, but I'll tell you, this is one of my favorite interviews, Kim. You always bring. That's why I named this thing comedic therapy because we all need some of that from time to time.
Yeah, I could be your comic therapist. There we go. I got to combine all this stuff together, right? The stuff that I do, comedy, therapy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
think
said, I
about
said,
it.
I'm a.
Lay on the
Oh,
couch, let the
you're
therapist
telling me
laugh
to
at
think
you.
about it.
Well, no, if you think about laughing at your clients, your therapy clients, I would be a perfect candidate for that.
I got to tell this. Okay, here's a story because we're going to free flow a little bit today, right? So
Yeah.
when I was working with kids, I was working with kids on how to deal with bullying, right? And I had this cool little book, and I'm explaining to them that they could use humor to deal with feeling bad if someone's bullying them. Like, they can joke along with like, oh, you're so stupid. You can go, yeah, I'm a dummy. That's a really bad example, but you know what I'm saying?
No,
It's
exactly.
like you play along, you joke with them, and you laugh with them, and you try to like shift it. So I've got this room full of fourth graders. So how old is that? 10, right?
Maybe.
So
I think
just
I
as
was
I'm saying
14, but
that, now I can't believe I'm telling you this. No, no, just some of them are 14, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So these little 10-year-old fourth graders, I'm standing in front, we're talking, we're laughing, we're having a good time. They're digging it, they're getting the idea, right? And then you know what happens? I fart.
uh, no.
I didn't mean to. I didn't even know it was there. Didn't even feel it. There was no warning. It just, there we are.
Stuff happens.
It doesn't happen to people. It happens to older women, and it's terrible. It's something that it happens to us. And I'm standing there, and I'm going with this, right? So the kids, the girls are all like, oh my God, we wanted to like her. And the boys are dying. They're laughing so hard. Well, what did I do? I laughed. I started
Oh,
laughing. I said, this is a perfect example. I didn't do that on purpose, but what am I supposed to do with this? Like, here it is
yeah,
in
there
front
you
of
go.
all you kids. And so you can make fun of me, but until you get older, or maybe you're going to be sitting around when you're in your 40s. Remember that one time that counselor farted in front
Yeah.
of us? It's like, yep. I had no warning, no warning, but it was the perfect timing. What was I talking about? Laughing through adversity. Well, that's it. When you're in the school system, you don't want to fart in front of your kids, and you don't want to have diarrhea. You just to leave class. I mean, you're supposed to leave class. Those are things that are the hazards of the career. So people, we talk about it, but if you're outside of the school system, you probably haven't really had, those conversations with other people. So I heard your teacher had diarrhea today. How was it? Oh, mom, she was in and out of the classroom all day.
She was crying between
Oh, this is
laughing.
probably not a good way to start our conversation, but hey, there you go.
Well, it won't surprise our audience now, will it?
Good fart joke. People, thumbs down, thumbs down. What's up with the last time we did an interview? It was great. We had all these people, they loved it. We had so many wonderful views, and we had some thumbs down. And you and I said, what's up with the thumbs down?
Well,
Oh,
I
please.
I'm
You
guessing
people with your
those are
thumbs down.
those are hearts you have broken. So I think these are what you call
Yeah.
call deep dark internet trolls that you broke their heart when maybe it was high
Oh, the
school.
hearts I have broken.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go. You
I
know,
did. I did have somebody who I dated when I was 20 contact me a few weeks ago and wants to be my friend on Facebook. And this person was horrific to me. That when we were dating, it's like it was one of those things when I was away from him, and after I was glad he gave me the cold shoulder, because it was awful. And so when he contacted me, I'm like, wait, you were awful back then. Why are you contacting me?
well,
Oh, because I'm divorced and alone, and I'm so sorry.
and
No,
you,
it's crazy. Our grandparents never had to deal with this kind of crap. They bump into each other at Piggly Wiggly,
and, and,
maybe.
and went the other way.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm leaving.
Well, men evolve. I've always said we're either 2 year olds or 4 year olds, and we don't ever get past that. So if you have a 4 year old, count your blessings.
Count your blessings, name them one by one. Yes, we need to count our blessings, and I do. I do.
Well,
I count my blessings that is not the man that I allowed myself to be abused by. I picked others.
yeah, new and fresh abusers.
New and fresh. I went with whatever it was I need to be abused by in order to grow.
That's what's
It's like I
evol.
knew I was supposed to be here. Let me take a line from the Kardashians. Would they say a line?
Oh
No, that was
no.
supposed to happen. It was supposed to happen. I was supposed to be a billionaire.
Right, right. Well,
So
somebody had to take Paris Hilton's role with all the talent they were bringing to the table. And I'm not saying that these were, I'm not saying silver spoon, but they did have business management that parlayed a lot of money for themselves.
you had two billionaires sitting there, two billionaires, and you had everybody that was six. Yeah, yeah. Let's we can say negative things, but no, no, no,
No,
no.
no,
These
absolutely.
people played their cards right,
Oh,
right? Played their
absolutely.
cards right.
Amazing.
I applaud them,
Well,
and I want their filters.
you want their filter.
I want a filter. I want a small waist filter. I want the very nice filter for the face. I want their filters.
You want that $250,000 photographer to follow you around and take those candid photos that they're so famous
I
for
tell you what
posting.
I tell you what I want just in case. I would really like to learn how to do TikTok and learn how to do these different things that in my line of work I need to learn how to do. So that's what I'm going to be concentrating on in the next month or so. I'm going to start doing things along those lines and trying to have fun with them. I think I'm going to do some Karen raps. What do you think? I know I'm Kim, but do some Karen raps and things like that.
Am I supposed to know what a
So we'll
Karen
see
wrap
how it
is? I
goes.
have no clue what that is.
You know what Karens are? They're calling white girls Karens. When I go on
No, I
stage now, I
don't.
say, "So obviously I'm a white girl, right? So what kind of white girl am I?" And that makes the audience laugh uncomfortably. And then I say, when I was growing up, a lot of my friends were named Karen. I've unfriended a few of them, but I can name like five Karens without even thinking that I went to school with. And now to be called a Karen is a slight. So I always say, are there any Karens in the audience? And then wait, 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 don't tell me, I'll ask the manager because they've probably already complained. Love it.
Poor Karen. Karen, we're sorry.
I know.
Kim didn't mean
Better
that.
Karen than Kim.
Kim, I bring
Yes, better
I
Karen than Kim. It's kind of like when they asked people who were living during World War II. They did inquiries after it was over. Like, how did people survive that? There's bombs going off everywhere. How do people stay sane? You'd walk down the street and a bomb could go off. Why were you still walking down the street? Why are you still going to the market? Well, you got to survive, yeah, but how you're not losing it and falling apart. And people would say in their mind, what would happen is that happened over there, but it didn't happen to me and it's not going to happen to me. I've been telling myself that my entire life with everything.
yeah.
There's a tornado warning. Not going to happen to me.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly.
This has happened. Not going to happen to me.
My zodiac sign is delusion. So I well, it's
When
you,
were you born? Since you brought it up, when were you born? You don't have
I
to tell me the date or anything like that. Just
no, I can tell you. I'm an Aries, and I don't like the zodiac because if you buy a very expensive book on the zodiac, it will spend 90% of talking about Aries profiles as how miserable and how awful they are and why you shouldn't
oh,
be involved with them. But get yourself a world war, you want to put those guys in front because that's what they're good at.
wow. I'm writing this down. Talk to
No,
Justin later after interview with Jerry.
yeah, therapy,
Sir,
therapy.
therapy.
It may be
Therapy.
maybe too
Yep.
late. You know,
Yep.
and that's a word I use way too much in my vocabulary because people say, "Well, what do you think?" Well, I think you need therapy.
Doesn't help. I mean, it doesn't hurt to learn how to reprocess things. And I think that when you come across somebody, so I'm going to be 61 next month.
God, it's hard to believe.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I want people who are watching this no thumbs down on that because it's tough, and because and someone said, "Why is it so tough? Why do you say that? What good happens to a woman between 60 and 70? Do you look at a woman when she's 70 and go, wow, look at her, 70 is the new 30? No, 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 no.
No, they
It
were.
doesn't happen that way.
No, they
So
did.
this is when
Karen,
you
Karen.
go to battle as a female. Yeah, this is when you go to battle as a female and say, you know what? I start working out, start eating right. Oh, lately I haven't eaten so good the last few days, but you eat right. I'm going to work out, and I'm going to do something grand when I'm 70. And cute, because I think cute goes hand in hand with getting older. It's like I don't want to be the mean old woman.
The curmudgeon that I
I want
am.
to be the cute one. Hi. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
And I want to keep my teeth. So all those things are important. So what happened this last week is, I had a problem with my feet. So I had a bunion done. Now I didn't know what a bunion was. My daughter told me what a bunion was when she saw my foot. She pointed at my feet and she said, "Mom, you've got bunions." And I went, "What?" And I looked down my face. I said, they've been hurting lately. I'm talking. She goes, "You've got bunions." I said, "Well, I don't even know what bunions. I don't know what bunions are. I don't sit there and look up stuff that I may have, right?
right.
Some people do. I mean, look at Facebook. Again, my age group in Facebook, I'm in the hospital dying right now. Need your prayer.
Yeah. Prayer circle. Get that prayer circle together.
I haven't pooped in 3 days. Please pray for me. I fell down. Here's the wound on my foot. They take pictures and put it on Facebook. This is exactly what our parents did, because they would talk about this stuff. What my generation is doing is they're posting pictures of this stuff. I won't do that, but I'll talk about it. And make it funny, because that was the first story we told. But so anyway, the bunion sounds like onion. I mean, it's a food product. How bad can that be?
Well, we
The
grew up.
bunion,
We grew up.
onion.
We grew up with Paul Bunyan and his blue ox. So how bad could it be?
Yeah, bunion. What's a bunion? If it's it just didn't seem scary to me. So what happened is mine got pretty bad. It wasn't like deforming my foot too bad, but I couldn't wear shoes. That was a big thing. And then I was losing feeling in my last two toes. So I went to get the bunion taken care of a year ago. And what happened is that he told me, "Well, I put a bunch of pins in your foot and you've got a very thin foot." Well,
Delicate.
I gotta tell you, I do. Nothing else on me is really thin. I've always wanted to be supermodel thin, just one time in my life. I don't want it to be when I'm on my deathbed. It's like, there you go, she's finally there. Good at every angle. I don't want it to be at that time. I'd like to hit it and still be healthy. But the one place that's thin that looks really good, my feet. So he says the pins may come out. They may kind of move themselves out.
Oh
Well, that
gosh.
happened on one side. So the pins bore their way out of my foot.
Right.
And then this last time I look, and it's like happening again on the other side of the foot. So, and then I have, I guess it was a bone spur causing nerve stuff. So I go to get that taken care of, and I'm pretty angry because what it does when stuff like that happens? You can't walk real well, and you can't do anything for a few days, and it drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. Some people's like, just sit and relax. You know how much? You know what that does? That puts me into carb overload. If I'm sitting there doing nothing, it's like, what can I do? I want some chips.
Well, no.
I want to eat again. I don't know what else. What is there to do? I can't do anything. You prop your foot up, and I've been eating, and I've been watching Below Deck Mediterranean on Bravo. So that's been that's been my thing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Kim Curley's one of the busiest people I know. I mean, she's a stand-up comedian, she's a writer, she's a therapist, and then she still somehow squeezes time into allowing me and others around this country to interview her. The reason we love her is she lives out large, and is that how you say it? She lives large. She puts it out there. She puts it in your face, and she may not show you pictures of her.
Nicely, I'm a nice person.
You are a nice person. She may not put out pictures of her gnarly foot operations, but she puts her workout photos, and she's a workout warrior. So imagine that. She finds hours of the week to work out. You're an inspiration.
Been working out every day of the week, for the most part, 6 days, but most of the time 7 days a week. and my trainer is my boyfriend, and he'll say, "So what have you had to eat today?" And I'm afraid to see him because I'm gonna, like have gained weight, and he's gonna say, "What did you do?" Well, trainers are not, they're not weak. That's why we
No,
pay them. Here's money. Make me like you. I
yeah.
want to be just like you.
No, you don't. You
So
don't.
it was been good having a trainer. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. I've got muscles where I'm starting to get muscular again, and I think that's important. It's very important health wise. But I heard this one time, and I think it's extremely just the best advice. You ready for this? Just in case, you ready for the best advice
I
when it
need
comes
the
to
best.
exercise?
Well, no, I need the best
All
advice.
right,
Period.
the best advice. So, Dr. Christiane Northrup said, "What exercise should you do?" I mean, what exercise should you do? And I saw her speaking to an audience, and the audience is all rumbling, and I'm thinking, well, I'm going to do what I like. I like to lift weights. I like to, ride my bike. I like doing that, and that's what I was thinking when she said, do the exercise you like to do, because if you pick something you don't like, you're not going to do it. And I felt like, I should have had confetti falling around me because I had the right answer. Woo! I was kind of hoping she wasn't going to say you have to do yoga, because I just don't want to do yoga. Some people, everybody, yoga would be great, but I don't want to do it. That's okay. It's okay to not do yoga. It's all right.
Well, my sister's done yoga for her entire life. It seems it started in college, and she's always talking about her yoga. And I always she used to make me laugh as a child because I would say, "Make that yoga face you like to make, that lion face or whatever it is." Yeah, exactly, something like that. No, but it's right, and
Yeah,
you do.
I've done it.
You
I've
know,
done it.
I've done so many aspects of sport and working out, and now being a quasi dinosaur, I have to be careful because my personality, I'll just go overboard.
Justin's got his foot over his head again, and he's stuck.
That's right, and he can't get up again.
Right there. Get it off. Get it off. He's going to be here another day. We got to help him. Call an ambulance.
Wow, when I played
You weren't
sports,
ready for that yet.
when I played sports, they'd come out and say, "Hey, you should be stretching," and we'd all look at them like and growl. We're not going to stretch. Well, as we grew up and matured, we realized we needed to stretch, or we would be in a lot of pain. So,
I know. The stretching thing I have to incorporate. So that's, this is our public service announcement. Hi, everyone. My name's Kim Kerley. And you know what? If you're going to embark on an exercise program, you should be stretching. And you know what? If you're just a lazy, no good person sitting around eating carbs like I've been for the last few days, you should be stretching.
you should still stretch. Yes, exactly,
Because that's
exactly.
why when you roll over in bed and you pull your back, because you haven't stretched. When you get up in the morning and you stand up and you fall flat on your face because you pulled something just standing up, it's because you haven't stretched.
Well, it is. You
That
haven't
and drink orange juice.
you haven't lived. You woke up in the morning and a tendon decided it was going to curl up on you a little bit that night. And you go, "I was just
I
sleeping."
know, I know.
Well, Kim, you
So I'm going to tell you.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go. Remember Chippendale standing outside the tree? No, you go in first. No, you go in. No, I insist you go in
I
first.
was not standing out by the tree outside of Chippendales. I do not remember that.
That was a Looney Tunes cartoon. It was the first two gay characters. No one, I mean, I've pointed that out for years. People go, oh, yeah.
Chippendale,
So
yeah.
if they ever look into these cartoons, there's so much there. But they were the first. They said that Bert and Ernie were no one. It was Chippendale outside the tree. But anyway, I've been working all summer on a brand new set, so I'm working towards. So I'm working out, trying to get the body in shape, looking good, and I'm going to have hopefully film another show for distribution. So it's going to be a big deal when it happens, but you just can't write a show and say, okay, I've written it, I'm going to go perform it and film it. You have to perform it in front of people and work out timing. And since I'm not fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias, who by the way is set up here at the Tobin Center here in San Antonio, show after show after show, because he's honing his new set in order to be filmed. So what I did is I made a bunch of phone calls to people who I knew had rooms, and that's what I did the last month and a half. Is I did every weekend, honing my new set, and I'm still wanting to needing to work on it. So hopefully that'll be happening in the next few months. I'd say maybe 4 to 5. I'm hoping for even 6 months before I film. So I got the dress. I just need to have the show together. I don't have writers. It's just me. So it'd be nice if anybody's listening to this and you have a good joke. Yeah, don't send it. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
exactly. Go ahead and send it if you won't be disappointed if I never use it.
Well, here's the thing with comedy. I mean, the whole thing is that it has to be funny to me, or I'm not going to enjoy doing it.
Or nobody may.
It has to be funny to me. And if I don't enjoy it up there, or if I say something and someone says, well, I don't think that's funny. Well, that's okay. I do.
Yeah,
And that, that's the truth. You got to feel good about it. I've got to go with the flow, man, of the way the brain thinks. So
well, yeah.
I got some pandemic stuff in there. I've got some TV stuff because I watched a lot of TV in the last year, and I think a lot of people did. So.
Yeah. Well, you always have to hold on to they handed you the microphone, so we have to listen to what you have to say.
Yeah, if you pay to come see me, why not? Why not shut up and listen?
Well, exactly.
So I did a show in Austin. First of all, I live in San Antonio, and I drive to Austin to do this show. And I get up and I say, I'm from San Antonio. I get booed because I'm from San Antonio. I'm going, I'm not a team. I'm not like a sports team. I'm a human being from a city. I don't understand where this is. Boo, you're from San Antonio, boo. It's like, what the heck? And then, but before I got up, I taped all my shows because that's what I was doing. I'm working things out. And so I put the guy says, how do you want me to bring you up? And I said, well, you should always, in comedy, you say 3 things. There should be 3 things, this, and this. So I do I said, well, my 3 things are this, and this. And so he gets up there and he goes, ladies and gentlemen, here's Kim Kerley. Doesn't do it. So I went, dude, give me, I'm trying to turn the thing on and it's new. It's on my phone and it looks like an old tape recorder. I have it downloaded as an app, so I'm going to press play, but I'm not figuring it out because all of a sudden I'm flabbergasted. I'm sort of taken aback. I'm getting a little nervous. Okay.
No.
So, well, yeah, because I'm doing all new stuff, and
No.
I'm having to remember all new stuff. And so then he goes, "Here's computer." So I'm doing this, and so I said, he goes, "Well, you want me to tell a joke?" I says, "Yeah, tell a joke before I get up there." You know what his joke was? Oh my gosh. He says, so my mom killed herself.
Yeah.
And the whole room just gets quiet. And I looked over him. I'm already on stage with my phone. And he goes, yeah, you know why she killed herself? Because my brother killed himself. At this point, I'm not happy.
No,
right?
I would think about it.
No one's happy. And he says, it's a pretty crappy way to learn you weren't your mom's favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Kim Kerley. So I get up there, the room is silent. Then I get booed, and I have not bombed that bad in comedy. That bad, not bombed. Don't get me wrong, I bombed, but I have not bombed that bad in like 20 years.
Jesus.
I'm still fixated on the mother and the brother stuff because the guy's telling the truth, by the way.
Well, I don't care. I didn't pay to hear his truth.
Oh God. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but you have to understand when I got my first comedy show, when I got my first comedy gig, where they're going to pay me money after doing 4 years of free shows and doing anything that I could, to be a comic. I'd walk off stage crying and like I'm terrible. I'm putting stuff together so hard. This drive to be a comic, it's almost like a sickness. You tell someone you can't do comedy anymore unless you give us your right arm. They'll go, okay, cut off the right arm. Where do you want it? It's just crazy how this is something that becomes a part of who we are. And so anyway, I get told you're going to have your first show. You be an opening act. We're going to start paying you. I'm ecstatic. And then the manager looks at me, Scott Garrett looks at me and he says, Kim, all comics are crazy. And I was like, oh, no, not crazy. I've been working on myself. I do dream therapy.
I do therapy, yeah.
I've read like 100,000 self-help books. You come to my house, I've had people say, you've read all those? Yes, I have. I'm pretty proud of it. It's like the other side of it, it should be sad.
Yeah, well, yeah, the reality of it.
Yeah, he says, He says all comics are crazy, Kim. Don't even go there. But we're happy to have you. You've done great work. Keep it up. We're looking forward to seeing what you can do. All right, cool. So then fast forward a few years, I'm getting my counseling degree, and I'm in this counseling class with, he's my favorite professor. I would try to pick him when I could, because I got my degree at UTSA here in San Antonio, my master's. And so there's just a handful of teachers teach for the master's program. So you get to know the professors. So I loved this guy, Dr. Josue Gonzalez. So I'm in Dr. Josue Gonzalez's class. And this is the one where you learn how to actually interview somebody. Like I'd say, Justin, nice to see you. You're in my office. And I would ask you, so what brings you here today? What's going on? Right? So it's learning how to talk to somebody. It's learning how to ask the right questions. It's learning how to position yourself. It's learning, you have to have you have to have a clock in the room, all these things that you have to learn in order to be a successful therapist, or, the minuscule things to the big things. So he says to us in this class, look around, everybody look around, take a good look at your fellow classmates. So we're all looking around, smiling, hi. And he goes, all y'all are nuts.
He was right.
He says, you're all crazy. Every single one of you are crazy. You wouldn't be picking counseling if there wasn't something a little off about you.
Well, yeah.
And I'm dying because at this point, I've accepted it.
Yeah, exactly. You're in touch with it.
Yeah. And there's people going, no. Oh my God, I can't believe he's sharing that. But I'm just like, I loved him even more that day because he's right. He's right. We're here to help. There's all different kinds of crazy, man. We're all, we're all different kinds of crazy. And on that note, free Britney. So that's what I wanted to say there.
Free Britney. Well,
Hell yeah, free Britney. That's another subject. But if that girl can work and make millions for her dad and everybody that they're taking money from, I think she can take care of her money.
Yeah, I believe she can. I believe she can.
If she wants to spend her money and go a little nuts and do whatever, free Britney, she's gonna be fine.
Well, that head shrinker professor, he could actually take that stick on the road, because I defy anybody to get in front of a group of people, a collective group of people that have the same ideals, the same goals, and the same philosophies, and he can tell them they're all nuts, and that's what brings them all together, because they are. We all are.
You can do that when you're also going to be giving them a grade. So.
Yeah, well, exactly. If you're not anticipating getting paid.
Well, and one thing when you're going through counseling, so if there's any young people out there old who want to become a counselor, here's some very good information for you. When you're going through the program, they're watching you, and if you're absolute nuts, they will cut you out of the program. They're supposed to weed out.
Yeah, nobody. When your check bounces, they weed you out. When your check bounces, yeah, your check didn't bounce.
I made it through. That was just another star. It's like I have these little stars, like I'm okay. Another one that said I'm okay. That's all right. I did all right.
I'm okay. You're okay. Oh, all right.
Yeah, that person killed themselves after they wrote that book, but
why wouldn't they? Okay. All right. I don't. I hate to touch on myself, but possibly in a previous life, a few of the bigger banks where I lived decided I should be a crisis business consultant for businesses that were in trouble. And I was young and didn't know anything about business, but, I had a good stick. I looked like I knew what I was saying and knew what I was talking about, and I would go in there and assess these businesses. And there was one problem that business consultants may understand when you're coming in to assess a business that's failing and you're having your meeting with the owner. And it almost boils down to the same thing every time. You're not bright enough to run your business. So now you've shared with him, you need to hire somebody that knows how to run your business. But, it's hard to get paid from that guy when you tell him he's not smart enough to run his business. So
yeah, hopefully you learn to use your words.
No, I learned that I was not cut out for that. Just because people think you can do something doesn't mean.
Bring in somebody to do this, and bring in somebody to help you do this. You need help. So,
yeah, right.
I need help. We all need help. Free Britney. So.
Well, and Kim, you are a remarkable comedian, and I'm excited to see your new show. I hope.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to see how it all works out in the end. I do some impersonations, brought some in that are kind of fun, and get to sing a little bit, and we're going to do some production behind me when I'm up there, so I'm excited about that because I talk about music and I
Chippendales?
talk about
Chippendales?
no,
Oh, no, no.
you go first. No, you go first.
There you go. But I encourage
Women
everybody.
don't want it. Women don't want to see men take off their clothes. That's why they're not on every corner like men's palaces are around every corner. Women don't care. We do that. Women do that for bachelorette parties or whatever. Or there's a few sickos, but yeah, that's just not a
Well,
big business maker.
it's important for men because it empowers women to basically realize how shallow men are. And
Yeah, I did a show. I did a show. I opened a show for the girls. I did a show opening for the men of Playgirl back in the day when there was Playgirl. So I did an hour. I ended up doing an hour show, and
wow.
I'm telling you, we had a blast. I was on fire. It was just one of those. It's kind of like talking with you, but it was a room full of women, and we just had the best time. And so when it came time for me to sit down and for the men of Playgirl to come out and do their thing, so they could get their dollars and everything what they were going to do, the women all kept saying, "Bring back."
Yeah, she was funny. These, not that these guys aren't funny, but she was really funny.
Yeah, what is that? We just don't bond that way. It was, yeah.
No,
So,
exactly. Well, and the other remarkable thing about you is you're a clean comedian.
yeah, yeah. I just get. I tell you what. At this point, even my language isn't scrappy, but when I hear a comic just go talk about sex or talk about their body parts and stuff like, it's all been. It's done.
Yeah,
It's just done.
and it's rarely funny. It's rarely funny.
At this point, if I see one more male comic do the same exact thing that I've seen 100 male comics do to the stool on the stage, it's just like it's not funny. I don't laugh anymore. But there's young people who have never seen it. Yay, you've got a new crowd. But yeah, George Carlin didn't do those things, did he? Uh, Bill Cosby, why'd you do what you did? But the first comic I ever saw was Bill Cosby. He walked out in Vegas. He had a chair, sat down on his chair, lit a cigar, and said, "Hello, everybody. How are you tonight?" And he proceeded to talk to us like how I did with the women, with the before when I opened for the men of Playgirl. But he just talked to us, and we were just rolling. That's an art, and I would love to be that good. I'm not dead yet, right? Just in case it's gonna happen.
Well,
It's
you're
gonna
not,
happen.
and you are. Maybe I'm your biggest fan, but you are remarkably talented. I think you can go anywhere and do your gig, which is important. You can get up in front of a business. You can get up in front of a bunch of corporate yahoos that don't have a life, and you can talk to them and you can inspire them and you can make them laugh. And I think that
Yeah.
I here's what I worry about. It's a
No, no. Look, someone's photo bombing me back here.
oh well, introduce yourself.
Introduce yourself.
No, 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 no. Just photobombing. I see this happening a lot lately. She would kill me, but she can complain later. I just had a photobomb because everybody else does.
That's my neighbor. I don't even know how he got in the house. So
It's because your man left
it's
the
my
door
next door
unlocked.
neighbor. Oh gosh, he's a
Hey, Boris, sugar.
he wants to borrow some sugar. It's so funny though that he's a sports entertainment lawyer, so he does a lot of fun stuff, and he's been dealing with me a little bit, and so he says to me, "I got a good joke for you. I got a good joke," and he says, you put a dog and your husband in the trunk of a car, and you lock them in the trunk of a car, and then you go 2 hours later and you go, you know what? Now you're gonna know who really loves you because when you open the trunk of the car, who's gonna be happy to see you?
Yeah,
So of
well,
course, I thought that was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard. So, and he goes, "Yeah, tell it tonight, tell it tonight." So I got on stage and I said that, and then I said, so I called my daughters and said, "If mommy ever goes missing, check the trunk of the car."
there you go.
Look at me making it funny.
Well, yeah, it was kind of funny. Yeah, and the other
No,
thing you
it's
touched on,
not.
that a lot of people in this country don't understand. You drove from San Antonio to Austin. It's not like Massachusetts where it's a 30-minute commute. How long does it take
It was
to
about
get?
it was about a 2 hour, almost a 2 hour jaunt because I went actually on the other side of Austin from where I live. But yeah, you do what you got to do. That's for sure.
Well,
You do
that's
what you got to do. You know, I
Texas.
was told when I first started comedy, if you're not tired, you're not working hard enough. Well, I've been tired a long time, and you know, so there's some things I still have to do that I really tired. So
Well, you're a blessing to us, and you're
dealing with my neighbor, it
yeah.
tires me out a little bit. So
Well, that's our first photo bomb. I think that's our first photo bomb, and I'm excited. And tell him to check his wallet. He may have a driver's license in there, and it may tell him what his name is.
now his name is Alan, and he's my friend. Alan's
Okay.
my friend. So
Okay.
yeah, see, he's actually a sports entertainment lawyer. He was mayor of our city for a little while. He's just a fun cat. I gotta tell you, there's nothing boring about him. So between the
San
two of
Antonio.
us, he actually talks more than me, which my kids said they'd never even think that would ever happen. So
Well, you found a kindred spirit.
I did. I think I did.
Okay.
I think so. Hmm.
Well, Kim, I would take up all of your time, and I feel I'm sincere. I'm very grateful that you found some time for us, and I'm very excited about this new show. Um, I think it's just too cool, and I want to let you sneak out of here. I do have a couple things to talk to you about when we get off air. So, everybody, this has been our good friend Kim Kerley, and this is Just in Case catching up, and we're just catching up. See, you may think this was scripted, but it isn't
You may think
scripted.
it's scripted, yeah. Bunions, the whole bunion thing, the way it works in
Right.
with food and all
I
that. Yeah, it was.
exactly. I didn't know Kim had bunions, but her daughter found them. And Alan lives next door. I learned that. Who would have thought? And Alan's probably married to Karen, but that's a story for a different day.
We did cover a lot, didn't we?
Yeah, and I do listen. I pay attention. Okay. Everybody, thanks for joining us. Remember
All right. Well,
additional
thank you, just in case, for everything.
Oh, thank you, Kim. Thanks for joining us. Remember, our additional information links are provided in this video's read more. Today's the day to subscribe to this channel, and please support comedians and drink umbrellas.
Chameleon comedians.
Chameleon comedians and drink umbrellas. I did get that right. Not umbrella drinks, drink umbrellas
There we
everywhere.
go.